Okay, so my name is Stephanie Miller, and I'm an artist. I do coloring books, paintings, collages, and I wanted to show you this is kind of an old-time art trick. I'm not in my studio today, so I had to kind of make do at home. And what I wanted to show you is I want to transfer this drawing, which is on just Xerox paper, onto this heavy watercolor paper. I don't know if you can see how heavy this is. So I wouldn't be able to use a light table for this because the paper's too thick for the light to shine through. So this is kind of an old trick that artists do to transfer art onto another piece of board. So here's the drawing that I want. What I'm going to do is I'm going to flip it over, and I have this turquoise pencil. These are art pencils. And I'll say something about this while I'm doing this. But anyway, I'm going to turn the drawing over. So this is the back side. And I'm just going to start shading over the whole area where the drawing is. So just to show you what I mean. So this is the back of my original drawing. And see what I'm doing? So here's the front side, here's the back side. So the kind of pencil you want to use is preferably a soft pencil. So if you aren't familiar with drawing pencils, pencils are rated either hard or soft. A soft pencil will have a B in it, like the old 2B pencils that we often had in school. And a hard pencil will have an H. And what I'm using here, which is not my preference, but it's what I have at home, is an HB pencil. So as you might imagine, an HB pencil is halfway between hard and soft. When I do this normally, I like to use a little softer pencil. Like if I had a 2B, that would probably be my preference. But I don't have that at home, and the HB will work just fine. And I'm just trying to get a nice, good coverage. You can use an ordinary pencil. You just want something that will come off a little bit easily. So, you know, when you rub your finger on it, it'll get a little black. So now I'm going to tip the camera so you can see what's going on here. So you can see I have my watercolor paper here. And I'm going to take my drawing and put it with the backside down on the watercolor paper. And then I'm going to make on the top, I think we need a little more light here. There we go. I'm going to make on the top a little witness mark, just so I remember where I started. So I just realized that you can't quite see what I did. So I made a little mark here just to show where I'm starting because it's hard to see. So I'm going to trace each petal with the pencil. And I wanted to be able to use this flower shape for, I'm making a color wheel. And I wanted to use the flower shape for the color wheel. I think my husband's about to come in the house, so might be an interruption. I'm using the flower shape to do the color wheel. So colors have a sort of mathematical relationship to one another. So I needed to use these this grid and have kind of a perfect drawing where I could maintain those relationships between the petals and the colors, and so that I would have the complementary colors right straight across from each other on the color wheel. And I'm going to do a separate video so that I explain color wheels and color theory a little more. But now I'm just tracing over everything on my drawing. And so I started, just to confuse myself, on the orange here, so I don't want to forget that. And then here's the red-orange. And I'm just trying to, so I'm just tracing over this whole thing and what's happening on the back, and I don't think that you'll be able to see it. Yeah, it's a little too light, I think, for you to see, but what's happening is that these pencil marks are now transferring to the watercolor paper. And just trying to finish this up here. Okay, so you can see how I transferred that. See, you can kind of see what's going on there. And I'm going to tip the camera back up. So here's my flower. I'm going to turn this away so you can see. Oops. So here's my flower now transferred onto the watercolor paper. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to ink this in with a Sharpie. I sometimes use technical pens and Indie ink, but I'm not in my studio. So I have Sharpies here. And Sharpies will work fine with watercolors. So this is going to be fine for that. And in another video, I'll be showing you how to set up a color wheel and talking a little bit about the fabulous watercolors I've been using. Okay, see you soon. Bye. And thanks for joining me. Bye.